using the PowerPoint, and then we will go over the verses and the translation. And purport we'll do as needed, means as we find like a more some of the extra things which we must cover, and then I'll try to see. So chapter 7, I'm going to try like that, and then try to get your feedback if this is working out or not. Okay. So so here is how the chapter 7 is divided. So the first part is hear and know Krishna. So up to chapter 6, we learned about the different yoga system. And then in the last verse of chapter 6, Krishna says that of all the yoga, Bhakti yoga is the topmost. Now, if you want to love somebody, then what is the how we can know about somebody? Means how we can love somebody? We need to know about them. And how we can know about them? Yeah, hear about them. We hear about them, right? So Krishna is going to talk how, so by his own will, he's talking, and he's going to tell who he is, right? Once we know who he is, then we will be able to start loving him. Now, and then after that, the next section, Krishna is going to talk how he is in everywhere. So he's going to talk about the material world, he's going to talk about the spiritual world, then he's going to talk about how he's in everything. Okay, he's telling himself directly. So then the question will happen, oh, I know Krishna is supreme, and every material manifestation is made by Krishna, spiritual manifestation is made by Krishna. Then why doesn't everybody surrender? If you know that, where I have come from, why don't I surrender? So that's the surrender, right? That why some people surrender, why some people don't surrender. What kind of people are there? Different kind of segments. Krishna will talk about 4 kind of people.
Is it the ego thing?
So you will see, okay, you will see. There are the foolish thing actually. So Krishna uses the word mudha. Okay, and then there is people think that they are surrendering, but they are doing the improper surrendering. That's where the demigod worship will be, demigod worship Krishna will be talking about. And then finally he will be talking why people comes under the illusion, what is the cause of illusion, and how to get free from it. Okay, so it's a 30 verses, uh, um, short chapter. You see how the bhakti concept will be brought in together and together. And it is very important. Means if you really want to understand these sections, um, if you guys are already chanting, you should increase the round of chanting, because these topics will start making more, because there will be revelations. As you are learning about things, this is a magic moment, right? As you are learning about things, there will purification and revelations, and chanting is really going to help. So if you're doing chanting, increase the chanting. If you're not doing it, try to do the chanting. It will help you. Okay. So now let's, so I'm not going to cover the few of the things. Okay. We already talked about, you remember this, right? First 6 chapter Karma Yoga, 7 to 12 Bhakti Yoga, and 13 to 18 Jnana Yoga, right? Everybody knows. Okay. Uh, so you see here it says rescue plan. These 6 chapters is basically rescue plan. What rescue from what? What are we getting rescued from? Sorry?
The problems that we have in life.
Okay, we are getting rescued from the problem we have in our life.
Entanglement into this material world or
Yes.
falsehood.
Yes. So basically, getting free from the Maya, right? So all our problem is due to the Maya, right? How to get free from this Maya? And Maya is a very powerful force. It's impossible for us to break from it by our own thing. Okay, unless we know how to break it, because this is Krishna energy. So Krishna is going to discuss how you can break Maya. He is going to share because he's the designer. This is what in some of the device questions, like become people say, oh, show me the God. Okay, God exists. Then I'll so those things comes and becomes a hard thing to talk. Okay. Okay. So this is the lesson. Who does not need guidance in life? So just as Arjuna made Krishna the driver of not only his chariot but also of his life, we should also hand over the reins of our life to Krishna. Certainly then victory will be ours. So why I'm saying chanting? See, unless we take shelter of Krishna, right now, let's say even I don't believe in Krishna or I haven't seen Krishna, right? But just to believe, you have to, somebody has to do the experiment. An experiment is give our reins of life to Krishna and see if you see the changes. If it doesn't see the changes, then leave Krishna. If you see the changes, then you know Krishna exists. As simple as that. Okay? So we had talked about the first verse, right? Where Maya Sakta Mana Partha Yoga Munjan Madashraya Asamshyam Samagram Mam Yatha Gyanashi Takshunu. So which was the one of the word which we spent quite a bit of time?
That's
Takshunu. And what the Takshunu means?
hear about God.
Yes, hear about Krishna, Takshanu. So hearing is the one, and this within this we had talked about the four in the purport. There were four verses from the Bhagavatam. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So and that talks about how this science really works. How this science really works. So this is so here when we hear about Krishna, we gain knowledge, and then our anarthas start getting purified. So it cuts the our bondage, and then we want to, because the bondage are getting cut, we want to take more shelter of Krishna. We really understand the yoga process, and we really do work on it with all sincerity, and then our mind will start getting attached to Krishna. Right now our mind is attached to what?
Material.
Yes, right now it is attached to selfish desire. I want to enjoy. Why people are not paying respect to me? Means I am the center of the world, and then I look through that lens. But then, as we start moving on this path, will Krishna will become the center of the world, and we will be working with that center of the world in love and affection, and that will get rid of all the problem from our life. Okay. So we talked about the truth, absolute truth versus relative truth. What is the absolute truth?
Which does not change based on circumstances.
Yes, which is true at all times and at all place. While relative truth changes as per time and place, right? It's just written there in front of you, right? Okay, now there are some of the example we don't need to go. Here, I wanted to talk a little bit, and this is something we have covered. Uh, there are different kinds of action. What kind of action is? One can be a sinful action. What kind? Give me an example of a sinful action.
Doing something against our shastras, what shastras mentioned.
Okay, but give me an example.
Gambling. Yeah.
Gambling, okay? Gambling, hurting, killing somebody.
Yeah.
Those are all sinful reactions, sinful actions. Next is fruitive. Give me the example of the fruitive actions.
So you do something to get back what you want, but it is as prescribed in the shastras,
Very
like
good. So,
worshipping for certain gains.
very good, very good. Okay, I want something in return. So, for example, a lot of people they pray to Lakshmi Devi that give me money. Lakshmi Devi gives the money. So I am doing the worship of Lakshmi Devi because I want money, right? Some people will worship the demigod to get a child. Some will worship the demigod to get rid of the disease, right? So they are working with some desire. The next is dutiful, dutiful action. What is dutiful action?
Nishkam karma.
Right.
Very good. Okay, okay, very good. Very good. Yes, Prabhu, Nishkam karma. Okay, very good. So, yes, so this is where, based on our Varna and Ashrama, we all have the certain duty.
Duties.
Okay. And actually, this is something I was uh, talking with my other class in the morning.
Your other class?
Yeah, Prabhu, for the Western devotees, there are Western devotees. Um, okay.
I thought you have mantra house also, right?
Yes, so that is for the kirtan. But then the people who wants to learn about the concept, we do the classes. Throughout the week, we do the classes for them online.
Throughout the week?
Huh? We are four, 5 classes, Prabhu. Yes, yes. Okay, Prabhu. So here, so see, this is what is our dharma. So there are one, we are a body. So based on body, there is dharma. We have talked about Varna Ashrama. Anybody who doesn't remember it? Sridhar, Prabhu, do you remember it? Okay, right? So we are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and then we have the different time of our age. Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha. So based on our body, we have to do the Varna Ashrama. But then our main dharma, the pivot is the eternals, the dharma of the soul, which is loving, recognizing our constitutional position with God. And what is our constitutional position with God?
Part and parcel of
We are part and parcel of God, and we are in loving relationship with the God. So we have to do all our action to please the God. So that is our constitutional position. We have to love the God and work for Him. Okay, that is our constitutional position. Now you have the family, we have relative, we have the job. So what we have learned, that we can, the Nishkam Karma Yoga, as Prabhu talked about, we do all our work in such a way, which is the body related work, so that it gets connected with Krishna. And then when we start offering the result of that work, that becomes the devotion, that becomes the bhakti. Okay, so now going back, dutiful work. So that's the dutiful work, right? That as a body, I am born in a certain family, I have some prescribed duty, so I am doing that work because that needs to be done. You are a mother, so you're doing the work. You are a father, you have to take care of a family, but doing the work in such a way that it's not attached work. So in the morning I was talking about, so for example, let's say your wife like to shop a lot. And we are telling that, Sridhar, you have to take care of your wife. Now you making sure and earning enough that she can do the shopping, is that a dutiful work or not a dutiful work? Yes, that's the practical aspect of Bhagavad Gita you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Conceptually, it is not.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you are loving to have that materialistic things in the mind.
Very good. And let me add a little bit. Why it is not? Of course, because see, as a husband, means as you yourself, you know that your constitutional position is to love God. But then your other responsibility as a body, as a husband, is to make sure that slowly your wife also coming to and start loving Krishna. Now by spending, you're giving her money, will not allow her to go closer to Krishna. It will, because she's working for her enjoyment. So she's going away from Krishna. So that's not dutiful, right? So your duty, so you have to combine those two duty. Okay, you have to make sure that your wife is taken care of, her bodily needs, whatever is required is done. But then what is extra? That's where the discrimination comes. Oh, this is extra, this is not helping.
Needs versus wants.
Yes, needs versus wants, exactly. So that's where so duty, we have to understand what is the right duty. So to know the duty, we need to know the knowledge. So to know the duty, we need to have the knowledge. So knowledge in action. So this is what chapter 7, when Krishna is going to teach us more about himself, that is going to give us the knowledge, and that knowledge will allow us, is it dutiful or not, right? So it's going to help us understand. So dutiful, okay. And when we are doing this work, then what happens? Purification. We get purification of our heart. Next will be devotional, love in action. So it's from, okay, so while Krishna is in 7, he talks about himself, right? But then and this started in a previous chapter, but little less. But chapter 8 and onwards, it will talking about more about the devotional. What is devotional service? How we should work for Krishna. So that is the last, devotional. When we say devotional service, means action in love. Action in love. So that is for Krishna's pleasure. So it's beyond purification. That's for Krishna's pleasure. So this is the highest form of bhakti. So when we say bhakti yoga, some people think that liberation. A lot of people like say, what is highest? They'll say liberation. What you are going to learn from Bhagavad Gita, that liberation is just a side effect. Because if you're loving Krishna, then what's happened? Krishna will like to bring you back to him. And when he brings you back, then what happens? Your liberation is automatic, right? So why are you looking for the small thing when you can have the better things? That's intelligence, right? So anyway, Krishna is talking about. So this is, see, the scale on the scale. Sinful reaction, sinful work is a selfishness. That's what we call lust. And the devotional is selflessness, and that is what called love. So it's a journey from lust to love. From being sinful, people think that, oh, I have become more, I at least know that there is a law of karma, let me follow that, but I have a desire, so I'm doing fruitive work, right? At least so they are learning. But then people move further, and they say, oh, I'm learning about the knowledge about Krishna. There's some there's personality which is beyond demigod. Oh, I've got that. Let me work for him. Means, let me work nishkam. This is what the nishkam karma yoga is, right? So you are working without any expectation, but we are not. Sometimes we offer the result to him, sometimes we don't offer the result. But in devotional, the impetus, the drive is Krishna. All desire is Krishna. I want to satisfy Krishna. That's the reason I'm doing. So within that, devotional doesn't mean that you are leaving your family, right? We have talked about, you will make Krishna as a center, and then everything will revolve around it. Okay. So this is the important concept. And so the second verse was Jnanam te hamsa vijnanam. So here Krishna is talking about, Krishna is telling, I am not only going to tell you about the things which you can see. I'm also going to tell you about the things which you don't see. Jnanam, so Jnanam is something which we can see. Vijnanam, which is a realized knowledge, something which is beyond our right now perception, but realization. As we are learning this, so, oh, that also makes sense. That is also connected, isn't it? So Krishna is telling that I'm going to talk both what you see and what you don't see. So I'm going to give you the complete knowledge about me. Yes, Mataji.
Past slide where the dutiful and the fruitive. In Grahastashram, I think we are in these two stages all the time juggling. The things get into, like, even when we talk to our kids about these things, like now when we understand that this is our duty, we are in a role, we have to be like a parent and guide them. But somewhere crossover, you get into fruitive, and then again it keeps juggling. Your mind keeps going
So
that side.
yeah,
Not those things which we say. Maybe the stages have passed, so it is different now. But still, somewhere I think it doesn't. Even after learning, the things keep going back into the fruitive and the dutiful, and how we give the result. How we, when we say that we should offer our results to Krishna. So how is that done? Like,
okay. So now anybody would like to answer Mataji's question? Did you hear online? Okay. Anybody would like to answer Mataji's question? So see, Mataji is asking question that, oh, we are learning about the dutiful devotional, but I'm a garasta, and within that I have desire. My family has desire, so it becomes fruitive sometimes. Sometimes it's dutiful. How do I get to the devotional? Right? Is that the question, Mataji? Yeah. So anybody would like to take an attempt? Your understanding, please.
While doing whatever you are doing, you still, if you know that Krishna is the place where you got to go back, then slowly try to be in devotional mode also. Try to get into the devotional mode while being in the dutiful mode as well.
Very good. So Sridhar Prabhu is going in a right direction, right? So understanding is, Mataji, that devotional doesn't mean that you don't take care of your children. Devotional already includes dutiful. Okay? Devotional already includes duty. But the duty in love. So your duty as a mother doesn't end. Your duty as a mother doesn't end. But your duty as a mother in fact increases. Now you are thinking that, okay, right now you are thinking about your children to make sure they are fed well, they learn good value system. But now you'll be thinking, when you're doing devotional, you're thinking about how I can bring my kid to Krishna. Because that's your higher duty. Right now, you're looking at your duty at the body level. Now your higher duty is, my duty is to make sure that my son, my daughter is the last birth for them. They
Yeah.
should learn about the Krishna. Okay.
While you are doing your bodily things, but
Mhm.
you also have to think the spiritual way.
Yes, that's the change between. So that's the change happens. But so devotional is not impractical. It's very practical. De- in devotion, I'm dealing with everything, all my relationship, all my work, all my friend. I'm not ignoring anything, but I'm using everything for Krishna. The knowledge which you are going to get from Bhagavad Gita, starting chapter 7, will allow us to see how we can use everything for Krishna service. How to use my spouse for Krishna, how to use my children for Krishna, how to use my work for Krishna, how to use my money for Krishna. Now coming to next part of the question, that you have desire. So initially, you see on this spectrum, selfishness. So I want something for me. Once we start learning about Krishna, then slowly the desire goes away. Why I want something for me? If I want something for Krishna, and if Krishna is happy, won't that is that not going to make me happy? So let's say you are serving your husband. And if husband becomes happy, don't you feel satisfied? You feel happy, right? Other thing was, you were looking for happiness for yourself only. But now your husband is happy, you are feeling happiness within your heart. Same thing. If Krishna is happy, everybody will be happy. You will be happy. All the people around you will be happy, right? So that's the science. How well we do it, that's our intelligence. How well, because initially when we are learning, sometimes we'll do really well, sometimes we'll fail. So in the journey, it's not that you're not going to get misery. You will have misery in your life. It will keep coming. But as we become perfect in our practice, those misery won't be any misery anymore. Each of those misery will be a learning from Krishna.
So the thing is, like sometimes when we guide our children also now, we have to tell them studying this thing, nothing.
Mhm.
So when we give them without giving some motivation that this is how you are developing on this path, so they will in that point I feel that I am also putting them again into fruited thing. They are also thinking like my daughter is very naive. Whatever I am guiding her, she's absorbing that fully.
Mhm.
So when I tell her that you do this thing, but she has to do some hard work for that and then persisting into that. But then gradually I feel ki I'm telling her ki you win this, you do this, then you get something. So then the journey for them again becomes the same.
Okay. Yeah.
They'll ultimately learn after a long way that
So see, that's where our intelligence comes, right? We cannot push anybody without their will. It has to come from within the heart. So as you are start practicing bhakti, they are learning subtle in subtle sense. They are learning. You are putting them in a situation where they are getting some of this knowledge, while they are getting the material knowledge also, because to live we need the material knowledge also. Now it becomes that sometimes we say that, oh, you should work very hard, which means that you should become competitive. Sometimes feels like, oh, you have to become competitive, and then we think becoming competitive is not good for Krishna consciousness. We think like that. So that's where this fine line comes. Is it competitive or is it excellence? I have been given a body, I have given intelligence, I have given a mind. Am I using it perfectly well to the best of my ability? That's one. Other is, I want to beat Sridhar Prabhu. I have to be better than him. That's competitive. So these are subtle difference, right? So we should teach our kid how to be excellent in whatever they are doing, right? So that way, then, so these are the values. So and then so basically try to maximize their context so that they are learning about the context. You cannot push them. You have to give love, at the same time some discipline. And as they are growing, they are learning from you. And then they will fructify, Mataji. They will means prayer and little context and taking good care of them. always being their friend, just like Krishna is our friend all the time. We are doing so many mistakes, but Krishna is there. You can feel them. That's the reason why we are sitting here also. Otherwise, we won't be here, right? So Krishna is there. Krishna will enable, but we have to do our part. Make sense? Does it help you answer question?
Yes.
Same question in my mind before stepping in.
Really?
How that fine line
Yeah.
engage them in material.
Yes,
versus,
yes,
spiritual.
yes,
So
yes.
that answers.
Okay,
Thanks.
okay. So now, here Krishna is telling that I'm going to tell you just not about me. I'm also, so not just about what you see, also the things which you don't see. So here, self we know, we feel, some of the things we are not aware. So we are going to learn. Prakriti, we see. Ishvara, we don't see with our eyes. So, right? So Krishna is going to talk about everything. So that when he say, hey, I'm going to give you the complete knowledge from this perspective. But are we going to learn everything about Krishna? Can I understand Krishna's mind? Can I understand Krishna's everything? That the detail will vary. That is on our own realization and purity. But Krishna is going to give everything in principle, complete principle. Okay. So now, now Krishna starts. Now in the third verse, he says that Manushya Nam Sahasreshu. So he is telling that of when we are born as a human, there are many million people, thousands, Sahasreshu, thousand people. Only there are very rare soul who come to know me. Very rare soul. So congratulations. We are all in the rare soul who are trying to learn about Krishna. Okay. Next, he starts going about how this material world is created. So he shows that there are 5 basic material elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. And then as Prabhu we're talking about subtle, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Okay. So this material world is made of these 8 material substance. And you can take anything in this matter: laptop, table, chair, human being, our body. You'll see that these are made only of these 8. See, who can tell it? Only the person who has created it can tell us that what it is made of. Well, otherwise, it seems very complicated. Oh, laptop is made of chip, and there is the metal, and then there is some magnetic, there is electricity. Why we are saying now, if you take and parse it out, yeah, electricity is fire, metal is coming from earth. Now you see, right? Everything, there is some air inside. Same for the body. Only the person who has designed this world can tell us. So that should give us confidence that these books are not a lie. These are things which is authentic. Logically, we can also think. Okay. And then further, we talked about these 24 elements, right? Last time we have talked about these 5 gross elements. Okay. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. And this was in the purport, right? The purport Prabhupada had given more detail from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita is a summary, right? Prabhu was telling, Madhav Prabhu was talking about that how the whole Vedas has been summarized into Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses. So a lot of these details we can get from other books, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the other book which provides a lot of detail. Okay, so so even if you don't, I'm not expecting you to remember. Just know that this information exists and there are a lot more detail to it. If we can take away one point, that this material world is created by Krishna, and it is very well defined how we functions, how the universe functions. Okay. Now, Krishna is going to talk about that. Okay, I have so the previous knowledge is about the material world, right? This eight substance, and then further expanded into 24. Now Krishna is talking about, hey, apart from this matter, there is of course a spirit, but then there is a spiritual world. And he's telling that I control everything. I control everything. And then he says the wonderful verse. Yes, Punya Prabhu, go ahead.
Prabhu, quick clarification. In our presentation mode, we won't be reading the verse, Sanskrit verse.
No, we will be reading Prabhuji. So today, I said, right, we will be following the different pattern today. First, we'll do the storyline of section 1. Then we will go to the verses and the translation. Okay, and we'll
Yes,
see
Prabhu.
that if it's working out. Because what is what happens many times when there are a lot of detail, then we don't see how everything is connected. So we are trying to make a connection so that the story is there. And now as we are going into a detail, then probably it will stick more. And we will try to do this chapter 7 like this. And then end of the chapter 7, you tell me whether this style works better or should we do the previous style, which is we were just going verses and purport and verses and purport, what we have been doing.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, like this.
You like this? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was reading that summary of book, how to read a book.
Okay.
19 columns
Okay.
to read a book.
Mm-hmm.
It says the same pattern.
Same thing?
the
Okay.
way you
Okay.
mentioned.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I mean, my other class, it's working out really well. So I
Yeah.
thought that I will use this method over here also. But there will be some homework for you in this method
Yes.
because I want all of you to read all the purport. Okay. Then only this method will work. Because if we are not reading our teachers, their words, then it won't be that effective. Okay. So we have to read teacher's word. Our teacher is Prabhupada here. Okay. So we have to read purport. I will be covering some part of the purport, which we always do, but not as much. Okay. So I'll be relying on some of those things. And in that way, we will be able to finish the whole Bhagavad Gita much faster also.
Yes.
Okay. But we'll see. It's all experiment. This 7th verse is a beautiful verse. Okay. So it's a Matah Partaram Nanyat. So let me, nothing is covered. Okay. Listen, Prabhu. Gaiye.
मथ परन्तरं नान्य
Parantaram Nanyat.
किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय
Kinchidasti Dhananjaya.
मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतं
Mai Sarvamidam Protam.
सूत्रे मणिगणा इव
Sutre Maniganaiva. So here what Krishna is telling that just you see the pearl necklace. He's telling I am the string. So what we see in this world is the pearl necklace. So what are the example of pearl necklace? Here in this manifestation, what do you see? Which your eyes can see?
Planets.
You can see planet, you can see mountain, you can see earth, you can see rivers, you can see beautiful people, nice people around. You can see all those. But how everything is coming together, why you are getting a spouse, what you are getting, how these planets are not colliding with each other. So whether you look in the physical world, whether you look into the subtle world, everything is bound together by that string. And Krishna is telling, I am that string. So we don't see the string, but does it mean the string doesn't exist? It exists. Common sense. So it's a common sense. Just look into the common sense. This you might be learning in the device. You see that? You see when the flight goes, shake, something is happening. Sometimes we could crash. What is the speed of the flight?
100 miles an hour.
Around 600, 700 miles, right? Maximum these days. What about what's the speed of the planet?
3,000 miles an hour.
Even more. Some are running even more, and then there is spinning also. Spinning and running. And how many planets are there? Yeah, we know at least in our planetary system.
7.
Yeah, 9 we know. Have you seen anything news? Oh, yeah, today the planet is going to crash. And do you feel the jerk right now? The Earth is rotating very fast and it's going for. Do you feel anything? How this is working? Can we think of? Is it only the suddenly something happened together and then it started doing it? It's common sense, right? So when you read this knowledge and we think very honestly, we will see the Krishna in those things. Okay. So this is section 1. Okay, 1 to 7. So we'll take a pause. We'll go to the translation. Okay, and then we'll go to the next section. Okay, Punya Prabhu, make sense? Madhav Prabhuji,
Yes, Prabhu.
would you like to now take over?
No.
Come, Prabhu. It's pretty odd, Prabhu. Come.
Glorious.
Come.
Continue, Prabhu, continue.
Yes, Prabhu has done since morning. He has done already 2 classes. Yeah.
Hmm.
He is coming from different classes.
Oh, wow.
He was teaching.
Oh, you're teaching.
Yeah, he was teaching also. So Prabhu was asking about the DYS, that don't we do DYS? I was telling that Prabhu has taught around 150 students in my home in the last
Wow.
3 years when he was here.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of DYS we used to do. Yes. He was asking, who did you learn from? So right now Prabhu is going to a DYS class. I think that's very good that you are doing the DYS. Yes, Gaurang. Yeah. UW. Yes. Okay. So this is where we will go to or we can go like this. Okay. I'll go into directly over here. So this verse so 3 words we have done, right? We don't need to repeat it. We'll just read the translation. Okay. So I would like the class to participate, and I would like you all to read the translation. Okay. So let me do it like this, or I'll use this method. Okay. Okay. So this will be easier, and I think I have to minimize you guys. Okay. So I would like somebody to read 1 to 3.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." Text 2. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Text 3. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth.
Okay, now let's do this. Okay, so in the first verse, what do you think is some of the key point which you get? So the first verse, tell me, anybody, like just some takeaway point from verse 1.
With mind attached to me seems like a key aspect of what Krishna is conveying, Prabhuji.
Very good point. Because see, we can only know Krishna in full when we are in love with Krishna. And to love somebody is to means my mind has to attach to that person, a personality. Right? So yes, very good observation, Prabhu. Very good. Anybody else? There are many things. I'm just so you can. I want you to read very intently.
So,
Yes.
He's giving a quick alert what you are going to get
Hmm.
from now on. The full knowledge you are going to get provided. You are completely attached to me and thinking about me, giving full attention to the topic.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
The other part of it saying like when you know me in full, then you are free of doubt. So, but
Wonderful.
No more doubts.
Wonderful. All the doubts are happening because we are missing something. We don't have the complete knowledge. Once we have the complete knowledge, we won't have any doubt. This material manifestation, and we'll read in Ishopanishad, that's a separate book. Its material manifestation is complete. Complete means it's designed perfectly well for its intended purpose. But when we see that, oh no, people are sick here, people are dying here, who has created this? It's created for a purpose. And what is the purpose? We have already talked about it. What is the purpose? To love Krishna, our constitution, and we won't love Krishna unless somebody shakes us. Sick, wake up, wake up, wake up. And to get that wake up call, we get sick, we get problem. Sometimes wife fights, sometimes husband fights. Right? So the wake up call. So free from doubt. Very good. I'm loving you, right? So you're all getting into what we should try to understand and hear. And then there's one more point I would like to, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me. Tell me, what do you understand by this? How practicing yoga in full consciousness of me?
And there are different kinds of yoga.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know in which type of yoga he's talking about
Okay.
here.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So anybody would like to go? Yeah, go ahead,
Full
Prabhuji.
conscious of me relates to the highest step in yoga, Prabhu, like reaching samadhi in yoga.
Very good. Very good. So, once when Madhav Prabhu was giving you the class and he said that Bhagavad Gita is the book of yoga, all the chapters name is yoga, 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 yoga. There's no other book in the market you will see where the yoga is covered so much. There was once like somebody was saying at 150 or 170 times the yoga word has been used in these verses. Of all 700 verses, so many times yoga word has, maybe more, right? So this is the book of yoga. So, and all the purpose of all the yoga is to know Krishna. And here is telling that you will know fully. That's the kind of yoga we are learning now. Because this is coming from Krishna. So the yoga purpose of yoga is to know Krishna. Okay. All right. Second verse. Tell me similarly. What is the takeaway point?
More point in the first verse.
Yes, Prabhuji. Tell Prabhu. Prabhu. Yes, Madhav Prabhu.
If you don't know something about somebody, it's better we hear from that person only. Then only we can know in full.
Wonderful.
If you don't know anything about me, you can ask my colleagues, they will tell something.
Very good. Very good.
My friends,
Yes.
they will say something. I ask my family, they will say something. Ask my spouse, they
Yes.
will say something.
Yes.
But if we really want to know 360-degree about me, they would listen hear from me only. I am the authority of information.
Wonderful.
Everybody else will be kind of speculating only.
Yes.
So if you want to know about Krishna, we got to hear from him.
Krishna.
Yeah. So
Hear from me.
me.
Shrunu, the word.
Yes.
Such Shrunu is important.
Yes.
Hear. Now hear.
Yes. Wonderful.
If you
Wonderful.
don't know about Krishna, we got to hear from Krishna. Because he is the authority. Nobody else knows. Krishna tells later. The great demigods, the sages, nobody knows me. You know why? Because I am the source of them. They are all my products. They are not my source.
Byproducts.
So the product cannot know the source. The source only can reveal it himself, then we can understand.
Make sense? Wonderful, right? So that's a wonderful point. Now, second verse. Now let's do the same exercise. What are the takeaway points? Okay, so so I declaring that you will know me in full, there's nothing remaining to be learned. So, okay, so that's one point. This will know in full. What else? Does anybody understand the word phenomenal and what the numinous means? Okay, that's the reason I thought. Okay.
Material
So,
and spiritual.
yeah, okay. So phenomenal means what we can see. Phenomena. If you look, phenomenal, what's called phenomena, right? The things we observe, cause and effect. Phenomena, right? So phenomenal, that we can do cause and effect. Numinous, which is beyond interpretation. So Krishna is telling that, and what is beyond interpretation? The spiritual world, which because we are not there yet, right? So he's going to teach us both what we can see and understand, which is material world. You can say it's a cause and effect. We can understand through the cause and effect, right? But numinous, which is beyond our sense perception. So Krishna is telling that I'm going to tell you in full about both sides, just not one side, both sides.
It's called Paravidya and Aparavidya. Aparavidya means knowledge of this world. Paravidya means knowledge beyond this world.
Paravidya and apara. So just you add a to the para, that's apara.
Knowledge of the spiritual world, knowledge of this world, and knowledge beyond this world.
So beyond this world is Paravidya.
Paravidya.
Para means
Spiritual.
not ours.
Not us.
Because we are in material world.
Right.
That's why we say para.
Okay.
Para means beyond us.
Paraloka, we say.
Right.
So it's
Right. Spiritual.
Okay. Now, what about the third verse? Prabhuji, any point in the second verse?
No, I shall declare unto you in full. Meaning, in full means, earlier Prabhuji was telling, it is not that you will know everything, all details, because he is going to give the principles you will know what you need to know. If you have to know more, Krishna will reveal you more. Based on your relationship with him, based on your whatever required for your service. For example, when Brahma is creating this world, before he started creation, he didn't know what he's supposed to do. So he heard only the two words, ta, va, ta, va. And he was born, he was self-born. He's called Swayambhu.
Oh, really?
Is this
So I
one?
thought he came from
Yeah, he's Swayambhu means he doesn't have material father and mother like us.
I thought he came from
He's from the navel of Vishnu.
Navel of Vishnu, right.
He's from there, from the lotus he's born.
right.
That means he didn't have a physical father and mother like us.
Okay.
That's why he's called self-born. When he came from the lotus of Mahavishnu, when he, Garbhodakasaya Vishnu, when he appeared, he saw only water everywhere. He went up and down the lotus stem, everywhere only water. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't even see Garbhodakasaya Vishnu because he was so tiny. Lotus is so big. Then he heard, he was observing. When he heard the sound, there was sound going on background, ta, pa, ta, pa. Then he understood he has to perform tapasya. He performed tapasya for 1000 celestial years. Then
Yeah, celestial is
Is-
how long?
it's like a,
One day is 100.
no, yeah. So one celestial years is like a, they say it's like a higher planet. It's not his 1000 years. It is like a Swargaloka 1000 years, something like that.
Swarga.
That's like it. That's not a lot of time for him.
Okay.
Some amount of time. So then at that time, the Lord in his heart as Paramatma revealed all the Vedas. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavai Mukhyanti Yatsuryaha. Its first version Bhagavad explains that he was originally Brahma received all the Vedic knowledge.
So the Vedas were there even before Brahma was born?
Veda means knowledge.
Okay.
Comes from whom?
Veda means
I thought
knowledge.
the Veda, it's a Vyas Mahamuni has.
Only the Vedas are there always existing from the beginning of creation.
Okay.
Vedas came into the written form by Vedas.
Okay.
The current modern form, compiled form was done by Vedas. But Vedas was first originally revealed by Krishna, Vishnu to Brahma.
To Surya.
No, to Brahma.
That you are learning chapters.
That will come. Surya thing comes later.
Okay.
So then that was given in the beginning of creation
Okay.
of Brahma.
Okay.
Then after Brahma received the full knowledge about the entire thing, then he understood what he is supposed to do. Then he started creating the 14 worlds. Then he started populating the different planetary systems with living entities. That was his secondary creation job. The point I was trying to come at is the amount of knowledge what Brahma received is lot more higher because that was required for his service because he is the architect of the entire universe. You need to have a lot more detail. For our level, whatever Krishna is giving is sufficient. But if you are going to be engaged in higher service for Krishna, Krishna will reveal you more. That's what full means. Full is according to our capacity, according to our service. You can't say that he says in full. I don't see here like Python programming here. Huh? He's giving the principle. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Means he is giving the foundational principle from which everything else can be understood. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Okay, so third verse. So tell me about the third verse. What are some of the key points?
One among thousands try for learning about perfection, Prabhu.
And then,
That
so
out of I think the entire verse seems to be like very interesting. It says that how small fraction tries to even learn something beyond, and then how further really succeed in learning that perfection.
Yeah,
or
so see,
truth.
so you have gone up to here, up to two part. Out of many thousand among men, one may endeavor for perfection. Then explain after this what then Krishna further says.
Out of them, further a fraction achieves that perfection, and then further among them, only one may know, one knows
Yes,
the truth in me.
right. So what are some of the key points can you think? So okay, so now we understand what this verse is trying to tell. That we are rare, we are hearing and listening, we are all rare beings. But now further, is there any other points we can glean out of this sentence?
So knowing the truth, or
Mm-hmm.
one knows me in truth,
Mm-hmm.
that's even like it's much harder or to achieve
Yeah.
after this stage.
Yes, is of course okay after this stage. Okay, so of course, so what we can definitely know for sure that Krishna is telling that the subject which he's teaching us is not a common knowledge. It's not a common knowledge, and there are many of the thousand. If there are like a thousand of people are there, only one is trying for perfection. Perfection means, what do we understand by perfection here?
So,
Hmm?
whatever Krishna was mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
So all those, even though they practice all of them,
Hmm.
in materially they may think that they got the perfection, but still they are not knowing Krishna fully. Maybe the person who is hardly knows about Krishna, that is what I think.
Yeah.
Not trying to
Yeah.
Transcendental
outline
knowledge,
it.
Prabhu, like
Good.
going beyond
Okay.
the material
Very
world.
okay. So yeah. So see, if we combine everything, perfection means we understand what is the purpose of our life. Perfection means what is the purpose of life? Why I am here. And once I understand why I am here, and I know for sure, okay, then that's become perfection. And perfection is going back to where we have come from, going back to Godhead. Then Krishna is further telling, and of those who knows that what is the destination and they have achieved it, of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So I know that I have to go back. But then there I go, what do I do? What do I do there? Just I go and sit? Do I understand who Krishna is? So Krishna is telling hardly one knows me. So we understand perfection means we need to know Krishna. Okay, we have to go back and we need to know Krishna. But then know him in full. That is even harder. Hardly one knows me in truth. Really means people can say, oh, Krishna is like this, Krishna is blue color, black color. No, sometimes he's red color. Oh, no, sometimes he's white color. And Krishna is all. He comes in different forms. Okay. So, so, but knowing him in truth is even very small. That's very, very difficult. And this book is going to even tell us about that. This is what Bhagavad Gita is all about. Prabhuji?
Yeah. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. So, out of thousands of men, because we see 6 billion people currently on the planet, how many people are really trying to understand? How many people are really trying to rise above the struggle for eating, mating, sleeping, and depending? Very few. Most people are just simply going on with sophisticated eating, mating, sleeping, depending. That means what? That means we are like just living sophisticated animal life. So the one who uses the discrimination to rise above the struggle for eating, mating, sleeping, depending, and trying to understand what is the purpose behind this, why it is existing the way it is, why things are running the way it is, why it is like this. Those are the people trying to attain perfection. That's what it means. Trying to attain perfection means why this world is functioning the way it is. What is the cause behind all this? They're called Siddhas. Siddha means perfectionist. So people understand, oh, world is running because there is matter, there is spirit, there is laws of karma. All those people understand so that they can make the right decision. They are called Siddhas. Even out of thousands of people who attain perfection, hardly one knows that behind all this laws of karma, behind matter, behind spirit, there is the controller of both, Bhagavan. Those people are very rare. Right? Yatatam api siddhanam, of thousands of people who attain perfection, kaschin mam veti tatvatah. Hardly one knows me in truth. Mam veti means one who knows me. Tatvatah in truth. Which is very bad. Because
Basically, it's very hard to.
until otherwise Krishna reveals about himself, we can't know about him. Later we will see in the 18th chapter. Bhaktyama abhijananti yavan eschasmi tattvataka. Only by ananya bhakti, unalloyed devotion, you can understand me as I am. Standing before you, this two-hand form, what you are seeing, Arjuna, only by bhakti you can understand me. Otherwise, if you don't have bhakti, if Krishna comes in front of us, what we will say? He doesn't look like normal. Maybe he has some kind of a genetic defect. That's why his skin becomes blue color. Maybe he has an extraordinary, maybe he has some genetic mutation and he become a mutant, he become a superhuman being. Or maybe he learned some magic tricks. Like that, only we will see. If you don't have bhakti, and Krishna comes in front of us, we can't recognize Krishna. This is exactly what happened when Krishna was present in this world 5,000 years ago. How many people understood who Krishna is? We can count in fingers. Who understood? The Pandavas understood. Draupadi understood. Kunti understood. Bhishma understood. Vidura understood. That's it.
Kuchela understood.
Yeah, few. Very few. Everybody is, maybe he's a great person, maybe he's a little better than me. And when Krishna showed his Vishwarup in front of Duryodhana, you know what Duryodhana thought? Hey, he's a magician, he's a Mayavi. He's a magician. That's what he thought. Because until we have bhakti, we can't understand. Krishna, when he comes and stands in front of us, also we can't recognize. This will come later, but that's important. We can only know about Krishna when Krishna reveals. Whom Krishna will reveal, why he has to reveal to anybody? If you are envious of me, why I should tell about my important things to you? Why, how much money I have in balance? How many people are working for me? How much opulence I have? Why I should tell? Because if I tell you, what will happen? You're going to become more envious of me.
Yep.
There's no need to reveal about anything about me if you're envious of me. Because you are going to be hearing it, you're going to become more envious. What is the cause of we coming into this world? Our envy towards Krishna. And if Krishna tells more about himself, we are going to become more envious of him only. That is why he doesn't reveal. Until otherwise, we say, until otherwise, we behave like Arjuna. We have to behave like the Arjuna means we have to become a friend and a devotee. Until then, Krishna, before first chapter, before second chapter beginning, the whole first chapter, Arjuna was treating Krishna is like, Krishna, you are my friend and we are cousins. But when Arjuna analyzed his situation, when he introspected the situation with his own intelligence, it led him to indecision. Our own intelligence Introspection will lead to indecision without Krishna. I. Introspecting our situation with our own intelligence without Krishna will lead us to indecision, to do or not to do. I don't know what to do. We will end up in bewilderment. That is not only applicable to Arjuna, it's applicable to all. Because this world is full of perplexities, already studied in the second chapter. Purport, perplex. This world is full of perplexities. The greatness of Arjuna is that when he understood the problem in front of him is beyond his pay grade. I can't solve this problem myself. I need help. Where he turned to? Turned to Krishna. Krishna, now I am a soul surrendered unto you. Please accept me as your disciple. Please instruct me what is ultimately good for me. There is no one in the three world can dispel my doubt other than you. This is the words directly from Arjuna. This is how he surrenders. This is how the relationship from a friendly one changes to guru disciple. Later in the fourth chapter you all read, Krishna said, I had chosen to reveal this knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, again to you because I chose you because you are my friend and a devotee. You are not envious of me. Anasoyave. So this is the qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita. And that is why Krishna does not reveal this to everybody. If that is the case, only non-envious people has to receive this Bhagavad Gita. Why are you going in Seattle streets and distributing to everybody? Are we not violating Krishna's words? Because Krishna tells in the 18th chapter, the knowledge discussion between you and me, he shares only among devotees, among non-envious people. Like there are only three categories of people only should be. Nobody else should hear, because if they hear, they will become more envious. It defeats the purpose of Krishna giving Gita. Forget about the game. We are putting Vedabase.com free. Anybody can go and read internet. So this is the mercy of an Acharya. Because Acharyas understands the intention behind Krishna saying this. Because if people who do not accept Krishna's supremacy, if they read, they will become more envious only. If you're envious of me, if I go to, if I want to tell you more about my opulences, you're going to become more envy. Simple logic. That is why Krishna is saying more. But Acharyas knows intent. The intent behind Krishna saying is that he wants everybody to come back. So the Acharyas take a chance. Then if you read the introduction, Prabhupada says, at least one should accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead theoretically. Even if you don't accept Krishna as Supreme Personality, accept theoretically you accept it, then you read Bhagavad Gita, then only it will make sense. By putting this condition, Prabhupada is not violating Krishna's words. By accepting it at least theoretically, Krishna is the Supreme Personality, and you read Bhagavad Gita, everything will make sense. By the time you finish reading, you will become a devotee of Krishna. You will understand why Krishna is the Supreme Personality. So this is Acharya, means an intelligent person. Who is an Acharya? One who knows inject Krishna in dull people's head. He comes up with innovative way to inject Krishna in even dull people's head. This is how Prabhupada, not violating Krishna's words of discussing this knowledge in public, at the same time, out of compassion for everybody, is giving a chance. In the introduction, you go to introduction, the Prabhupada puts it in a sentence. This is not an ordinary translation, ordinary work done by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Go to introduction. Gita, introduction. Theoretically. Sorry, control F.
Yeah.
can find how much?
Oh, Theo. Okay, let me see. Theory.
Prabhu, the first one is about that only. Like go back, the first one. Yeah.
The first second
We just
paragraph.
missed.
Which Prabhuji?
Go back, Prabhu. Back in search.
Theoretically, the first
This
one.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, read. Read loud. I can't see.
Sorry. Okay, so
Read the sentence from the beginning. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita should be taken up. Read through.
Therefore, Bhagavad Gita should be taken up in a spirit of devotion. One should not think that he is equal to Krishna, nor should he think that Krishna is an ordinary personality or even a very great personality. Lord Shri Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So, according to the statement of Bhagavad Gita or the statement of Arjuna, the person who is trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita, we should at least theoretically accept Shri Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. And with that submissive spirit, we can understand the Bhagavad Gita. Unless one reads the Bhagavad Gita in a submissive spirit, it is very difficult to understand Bhagavad Gita because it is a great mystery.
So this. If you read this, sometimes we will gloss over the introduction. This introduction is such an important work done by Prabhupada. Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita will be a mystery only. Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita has no meaning. It is spoken by some personality. We lose its relevance over the period of time. Because it is spoken by Supreme Personality, it will be always relevant. The point is, until otherwise, Krishna wants us to understand, we can't understand. Continue, we'll go to the third. That's the reflection. Now we can go to fifth.
Okay.
Sorry, I know you want to go really fast. I'm going to.
No, that's okay. That's
my
okay.
nature.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So here are some of the things I wanted to tell. Like so those things were clear from the word. Prabhupada is talking about some of the things which only Acharya can understand. So you see what this particular translation answers. You see, some people we call them, the word which gets used by Prabhupada here is Mayavadi. Means they say that you are God, I am God. Means that's one part. Other people say that everything is everything is temporary. Everything is voidism, right? They all are studying Bhagavad Gita, but they are coming to the different conclusion. Why? Can you answer it? Prabhupada, I think Prabhu gave the answer to that, but can you just try to explain?
Interpretation is different.
Why they're getting to a different interpretation?
First of all,
Not
they don't
coming to
see the truth,
parampara.
accepting Krishna as supreme.
Yeah.
They have a problem.
So Shiva Prabhu answered the question, because these people, when they're reading Bhagavad Gita, they are not going with the assumption that exactly the paragraph which we read. Unless we start with the understanding that Krishna, theoretically I understand Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. If I read Bhagavad, if I don't go with that understanding, I'll come with different understanding. And that is the problem. That is the reason why you see so many variety. Now let's read some of the part of the purport, which I wanted you all to focus. So here, Sridhar Prabhu, you want to read? The yogis and jnanis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are fine going to fight? Okay. Or somebody online while so Prabhu is looking into his phone. Online, somebody would like to read?
The yogis and jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. Although the greatest of the impersonalists, Sripad Sankaracharya has admitted in his Gita commentary that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His followers do not accept Krishna as such, for it is very difficult to know Krishna, even though one has transcendental realization of impersonal Brahman.
So here it's a little bit. Do you know who Sankaracharya ji is? What is his philosophy?
Advaitam.
Advaita, which means?
There is only one entity. There is nothing called two.
Yeah.
One entity.
Ghatakash, Patakash.
Everything is same.
So yeah, we are also we are also means we are also God. You are also God. No, Prabhu. Okay, Madhav Prabhuji.
See, Advaita. Advaita means two. Advaita means non-dual.
Non-dual.
Everything is one. Oneness. It focuses, there is a oneness aspect of everything in existence. Everything is non-different from one. God even does not come into equation at all. This is Advaita. Now, the variation of Advaita, this Advaita, there are two types of categories of impersonalists. One is called the Brahmavadis. Another is called Mayavadis. Brahmavadis say that Brahman is the cause of everything. Brahman, their focus is Brahman.
What does that mean again?
Brahman means impersonal aspect of the divinity.
Okay.
They don't reject the personal aspect of divinity. They are attracted towards only the impersonal things because they are fried out in this world enough personal relationships, enough marriage, enough divorce, enough friendship burnout, enough cheating. They are fried out with all the relationships in this world. When they think of even relationship in the spiritual world, they get jittery. They can't deal with any more relationships because they got fried out so much. So hence they are interested in going to impersonal aspect. They don't reject the personal aspect. They're called Brahmavadis. Mayavadis means their principle is Brahman Nityam Jagat Satyam. That means only Brahman is truth. In the world, everything is false, including you, me, God, everything is all Maya. There's no God. There's no you. There's no me. There's no your bank balance. There's no my bank balance. Everything is an illusion. There's only one truth, Brahman. That's it.
They say it's
So
a tree.
they're saying there's only one Brahman, there's Brahmavadi, right?
Brahmavadi means we are interested in Brahman is there. We are interested in going Brahman, not we don't want to interested in knowing the Brahman aspect, the impersonal aspect of the absolute. We are not interested in personal aspect because we are fried out with the personal things in this world.
Right, okay. So
The inclination is they are going to impersonal thing.
okay.
But they don't reject
The
that
impersonal thing meaning spiritual thing?
No,
We'll come there later.
so we understood the three aspects to understand God, right?
The absolute truth can be understood at three levels. One is called Brahman, which is the energy behind everything. Second is called Paramatma, which is the localized aspect of understanding God. That God is in your heart and my heart. Third is Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the source of all. So the Brahmavadis, they are so fried out with all the personal things here, they are interested in going to the impersonal aspect. Meaning, in the spiritual sky, there is a spiritual Brahmajyoti. They want to go and merge there so that there is enough space, there is no neighbors, there is no boundary problem. They just want to be on their own. Peaceful. That's what Brahmavadi means. Mayavadi means there is only Brahman, nothing else is there. There is only Brahman. What is that Brahman? You can't even describe that Brahman, what it is. It is indescribable. It's indescribable. Everything else, what you see, the variety in this world, the jivas are Maya. God is also Maya. Material world is Maya. Everything is Maya. There is Brahman. Somehow there is something called avidya. When the avidya covers Brahman, what you get? Two byproducts, Ishvara and Jiva. Ishvara means God. Jiva means the living entities. When the when the Brahman is covered by Maya, avidya, what you get? Byproduct of God and Ishvara, God and Jiva. These are all Maya. That's why they are called Mayavadis.
Even God is
Maya.
Maya.
Product of Maya.
His personal form. His personal form, they say is Maya.
There is no his.
No, don't believe.
There is no his.
Maya.
It's Brahman means you, there is no gender, nothing. You can't, don't. Keep quiet. You can't describe it. Indescribable.
Don't consider any form for it.
No.
You can't talk about it.
But still they worship Prabhu.
They don't
They
worship.
say all that they worship some form.
They don't worship.
There is no-
The worshipping is, they do say we worship. It is like a ladder. Is what? It's like a ladder. We use it. Once you go, you quit the ladder. You don't need the ladder. The worship and all, it is just for temporary.
They say if you are initially at the initial stage, you worship a form, but ultimately then you advance, then
You don't need.
you don't need to do that.
Which of these ones they have the Shanku Chakra?
That is all personalists. They're called
Brahman.
No,
Brahmavad.
personalist.
Yeah.
They put the personal aspect of it. They are all Vishnu worshippers.
So
Sri Vishnu.
let's
They're not part of the Shankaracharya.
Sri Vishnavada.
There's Ramanacharya. there.
Okay.
See, Shankaracharya, what Prabhu is trying to, Shankaracharya never himself believed in Mayavada.
So
He is the greatest personalist.
So see, he's telling that has admitted in the Gita commentary that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead.
That means in the commentary he had written a Sanskrit statement, Narayana Paro Avyaktat. That's a statement. Narayana means Krishna Narayana. Paro Avyaktat means he is beyond this manifestation. That means he is not a product of Maya. That's a statement. But his followers do not accept this.
His own Shankaracharya followers don't accept.
They had gone one level because you have to understand why Shankaracharya did this for a purpose. His purpose is not to create this, this new philosophy, because he wanted to create the authority of the Vedas. He wanted to establish the authority of the Vedas in the world. So that he has to, so that people can start following some religion. Because before him, what is spread throughout India? Buddhism and Jainism. Sunyavad. They are not even accepting the Vedas. Buddhists reject the scriptures. So, in order to establish religion, first you need scripture. In order to establish the scriptural basis, he has to do this word jugglery. He took certain portion of the Vedas which talks about the oneness between the jivas and the living entity. We have some common quality between us and him. So he focused on only the oneness aspect. Then he made people to accept the Vedas using that word jugglery. But later his followers, but him on his commentary to Bhagavad Gita, he had written Narayana Paro Avyaktat. He's saying Bhaja Govindam, he's saying like worship Govinda. Only he can cut you out of the cycle of birth and all these things he does. He personally believes that personal philosophy. But to make in general people to accept Vedas, he has to put some impersonal philosophy. And one more reason he did is, in Kali Yuga, he wanted to separate out the people more envious of Krishna to be away from actually the process of bhakti. So he gave an avenue for these people who are envious. Okay, they continue to become more envious. He is the one who separated the people further away. He gave a philosophy. All these people took up that and they can take it. His followers, they had driven it to the next level. That actually God is Maya. That's Maya, the philosophy. That's how become big. Even though Lord Shankaracharya is actually who is Shankaracharya? He is an incarnation of Lord Shiva. If you read Padma Purana, then you will understand. Padma Purana tells to Devi. Padma Purana, Lord Shiva tells to Devi that on the order of the Lord, who Krishna, Narayana, I descend into this world in the garb of a Brahmin. As a sannyasi, I will propagate this theory of Mayavada. So that's what he says.
Lord Shiva or Lord
Shiva expressed to Devi that I will come down as Shankaracharya, then I will talk about this impersonal philosophy to establish the authority of Vedas, but along with it, what will happen is the people further who want to go away from the real religion, they will have something to chew. See, Kali Yuga very few, because Kali Yuga, all the people who failed in the previous Yugas, they take birth in Kali Yuga. So very only few people are qualified in this, little interested. So if all of them are in the same group, right, it will become more difficult. So he wanted to be separated. All the people who want to go further down, let them go. So Krishna gives up, because Krishna is impartial. If this is what makes you happy, okay, take it. What can he do? So that is why this philosophy given, and these people take it and taken to the next level now.
Yeah, so
that's
see,
Prabhupada explained.
yeah.
The statement began that one line. Followers of Srila Karacharya don't accept. There is a big history behind it. The purport is like not a that one line purpose. There is a whole essay you can write behind it. Yes.
So basically, you see, hardly one knows meaning truth. Now see, that becomes very important, right? If we really want to understand Krishna, we have to understand at least theoretically that Krishna is Supreme Personality. Then we will understand correctly. Otherwise, we'll become we won't understand this science properly. Okay. Now read. Just we would like to. So two more things. From a purport. Here, devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literature like the Upanishad, Puranas, and the Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. So Prabhupada is also talking about many times people like to read, I have read Bhagavad Gita, but let me go read this also. Let me read that also. What this verse is telling from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, another scripture, is that unnecessary reading is just a waste of time. It is not if it is not in the devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literature. So if I'm doing devotional service because I think, oh, this is how it should be, then I'm not following. I'll be creating unnecessary disturbance in the society. Okay. And the last,
whatever we say, it has to be backed up by Shastra. That's what it means. When we say that we following Bhakti Yoga, we do this means it's all backed up by the Shastra. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Narada Pancharatra, these are all the authorized scriptures, the path of bhakti. We can't cook. Oh, we do this also bhakti. You do that also bhakti. No. What is bhakti needs to be done, it has to come from the proper source. Otherwise, it is simply disturbance in the society means many deviants will be created and ignorant people will be misled. That's what will happen. It becomes disturbance in the society.
Okay, and the last part, again, I will request everybody to read the whole purport. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. So as Madhav Prabhu was talking about, as we get in love with Krishna, right, then Krishna will reveal himself so that we can perform his service to the best of our ability. Okay, so that's the reason why different people who read the Bhagavad Gita, they can come with they are reading the same verses of the Bhagavad Gita, the same Sanskrit, but they may be coming with a different understanding because the attitude, with what attitude they were reading with. So it's very, very important that we read with the right attitude. And that's the reason introduction, Prabhu.
Just give one analogy for
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, please go ahead, Prabhuji.
There is a nice white light. I am wearing a little greenish tinted glass. And you are wearing it's reddish tinted glass. You are wearing it is blue tinted glass. And we are all describing that light. I am saying this is greenish, green color light. What you will describe? Red color. You will describe blue color light. But actually, what is light? It's white light. Like that, when we are all covered by the three modes of material nature, three modes is like RGB, the primary colors. When you mix these three gunas, Sattva guna, Rajaguna, Tamo guna, we get different varieties of colors. Like RGB, primary colors, you mix varieties of colors.
Right.
Like that, we are all made up of, we are all mixed, influenced by three modes in different amount.
Yeah.
So that is the glass we all have. When we are covered by these three modes, by the different degrees, what we see, I will see according to the color of glass I am wearing. That's what we will understand. If we have to understand Bhagavad Gita, you have to accept what a pure devotee, one who has no glasses, he describes the light is like this. That is the right way to understand. That is what the Ananya Bhakta means. One who becomes a Bhakta means he is willing to remove his glasses and listen to Krishna what he says. I'm like this. Yes, Krishna, you are like this. Because I believe you. Because he doesn't have any more class. Until otherwise, somebody becomes a devotee, that means he is influenced by the three modes. That is why varieties of interpretation of Bhagavad Gita exist in this world. The reason why it is called as Bhagavad Gita as it is means it should be understood as Krishna told and how Arjuna understood. Because Arjuna is a person who doesn't have glass and Krishna is that source.
Okay, so we'll try to conclude, but what we so we are going to. I wanted to finish this section. We'll pick it up next week. No, Prabhu, time is done. Yeah. So Prabhu, let's. So what we are going to read. We are just going to read the Sanskrit and the translation. We will again come back next week, but this will at least give you the time to try to reflect on the translation. And next week, then we'll go deep, just like what we are doing with today's verse.
In the class, all of you read the purport once.
Okay.
The translation purport. Just one time. It will take like each section will take like 20 minutes, 30 minutes for you to read on your own.
Okay.
Even if you don't understand much, at least be familiar with the content. Then when you come and discuss, it will make more relevance.
Okay, so, Nitin Prabhu, please read the Sanskrit.
भूमिरपो नलो वायु खं मनो बुद्धिरवेच अहंकार इति यं मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिर्पृष्ठता.
Okay.
भूमिरापो नलो वायु खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इति यं मे भिन्ना प्रकृति अष्टधा.
Okay, Sridhar Prabhuji, translation.
7-4, right?
Yeah.
7-4, yes.
Yeah. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separated material energies.
Okay. 5. Okay, verse 5, Nitin Prabhu. Or Madhav Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu, yeah.
अपरेद्यामितस्तन्यां प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे पराम् जीवबुधां महाभावो ययेदं धार्यते जगत्.
अपरेयम् इतस्त्वन्यं प्रकृतिं विद्धि मे परां जीवभूतां महाभावो ययेदं धार्यते जगत्.
Okay, Mataji, you want to read the translation?
Besides these, O mighty Aunt Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mine, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resource of this material inferior nature.
Okay. So now this was about the Jiva, okay? Sorry, we are not going into the detail, just, okay. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
इत्यद्योनीनि भूतानि सर्वाणीत्युपधारय अहं कृतस्य जगतः प्रभव प्रलयस्ततः.
एतद्योनीनि भूतानि सर्वाणीत्युपधारय अहं कृतस्य जगतः प्रभव प्रलयस्ततः.
Very good. Okay, so Punya Prabhu, read the translation. Okay, just hold on. Just I'll move the screen. Go ahead.
All created beings have their source in these two natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world. Know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution.
Okay, wonderful. And the last verse for today.
मतः परन्तरं नान्य किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय मयि सर्वमिदं प्रोतं सूत्रे मणिगण इव.
Very good.
मतः परन्तरं नान्य किञ्चिदस्ति धनञ्जय मयि सर्वम् इदं प्रोतं सूत्रे मणिगणा इव.
So everybody try to actually, so it will be good. Let's everybody try to read together. Means ideally we should have, this is a very nice verse. Everybody try to, yeah, so everybody try to recite together, okay? Prabhu.
Call and response. Let's go.
Okay, call and response. So Prabhu is going to. Mata parantaram nanya
Kinchit asti dhananjaya
kinchid asti dhananjaya
Mai sarvam idam protam
Mai sarvam idam protam
Sutre maniganaiva
Sutre maniganaiva
Parattaram nanya
Mata parantaram nanya
Kinchit asti dhananjaya.
Kinchidasti dhananjaya.
Mai sarvam idam protam.
Mai sarvamidam protam.
Sutre manigana iva.
Putre manigana iva.
Matta parattaram nanyat.
Mattam paratram nanyat.
Kinchidasti dhananjaya.
Kinchidasti dhananjaya.
Mai sarvam idam protam.
Mai sarvamidam protam.
Sutre manigana iva.
Sutre manigana iva. Okay, Hima Mataji, read the translation, please. Hima Mataji? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Prabhu,
go.
1 second.
Go. Yeah.
Conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread.
Wonderful. Okay, so the homework for everybody is read the purport from 1 to 7. Okay, and next week we will start from verse 4. Um, just like what we are doing today, we'll parse out each of the little meaning of each of those verses. Okay, and then we'll start the section 2. That's what we'll do next week. No, she dropped out. She was there. Oh, okay. So next week we will be having the class at Pragya Mataji's home. Gaurav Prabhu comes, right? So please plan everybody in-person class. Okay? In person. So Nupur Mataji in-person class, Hima Mataji in-person class. Yeah, we'll do the potluck, okay? And Punya Prabhu, aapko to in-person virtually you will do. Okay? And then
You're living more, you should also come.
and and Santosh Prabhu, we hope that there will be one day where you will be able to come for in person. How is your
Yes,
everything,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji? Is you are not going anywhere right now, right? Still you are recovering, correct?
Yeah, I'm still recovering, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yeah, we'll pray that you get better soon so that you can also attend these in-person classes. Okay, but we'll have
Thank you,
the
Prabhuji.
Teams call also. So it's not that you are going to miss it.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're not going to miss
yeah.
it. But yeah, so next class will happen at Pragya Mataji's home. So we'll try to rotate like once a month. Anybody who likes, we will do at your home. We can run the class at your home. Anybody who likes. Okay.
This verse actually Krishna before he said knowledge of the matter, knowledge of the spirit. What we see in this world, everything is this two or combination of two, matter and spirit, living and non-living things. Krishna is telling beyond this, I am the source of everything. He is saying I am the source of everything. One should not think that above Krishna there is something. Above Krishna something, after that Krishna, from him everything else came. One should not think that way. Krishna is telling, I am the source of everything, both matter and spirit, and then there is nothing above me. Matta paratram nanyat. There is no truth superior to me. There is nothing above me. So clearly he is telling. One should understand out of compassion he is telling, not out of arrogance. Because we don't know, to bring us to knowledge only he has to tell. From middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, you will see Mam, Aham, Mata, like that this word will be repeated like many times. From me, I am. Like that, mine. Mine, from me, I am. Krishna will repeat many times. Because this middle 6 chapters reveals Bhakti. Bhakti means 3 things. Bhagavan, Bhakta, and the process of Bhakti. Right? Love means the lover, the object of love, the lover, and the act of love. So he is going to reveal, to love something to be object of love, we need to know enough about that object of love. Then only we can develop love for that. What is the best way to know about object of love? Krishna. Krishna himself telling. That is why he has to tell. If I'm going to tell about me, I am like this. I'm like this. From me, I have this much. I have the other. I got to say, use that word only. Right? How much ever I might polite I might be, I have to use from me. If I have all these things, I have to tell that I have all these things, Baba. What can I say? Unfortunately, I have all those things. Okay, I am the creator, I am the origin, I am the origin, I am the dissolution, I am the beginning, I am the end, everything comes from me. There is nothing superior over me. He's telling of his compassion for us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll end the call. Okay. Prabhu, you have time next week? You would like to do the class?
Time to what time?
From 4 to 6, Prabhuji. You confirm. Okay, so we'll see if Madhav and Prabhu will be able to give the class. Otherwise, we are going to have the class anyway. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.